So this is going to be an isometric hold at the top of a row position. I'm going to show with a band and also with a dumbbell. You can choose either one, whatever's most accessible for you. So with the band, we're going to hook this on about chest height, or that can be on a door anchor if you're doing this at home. I'm going to grab this like handles with thumbs up. I'm going to come here. I want to stabilize my hips and knees, so a little bend in the knees, hips relaxed, and then I'm going to brace here so I don't arch my back, and then I'm going to pull back, chest opening, and hold right there for anywhere from 10 to 30 seconds, and then come back nice and slow. Pull here. I want to make sure as I pull back, I'm not arching my low back, and my shoulders are dropping down and back, chest opening, and then come there. So what is happening here in the technique with the dumbbell is going to be the same. As I pull back, I want a couple things to happen. First, I want to be able to move my shoulder blades without moving my low back. A lot of times we see people in a row, they squeeze back and flare their rib cage, flare their low back here as well. So I want to think of my pelvis as an oval that's pointing straight up. My rib cage is another oval that's pointing straight down. They're parallel to the floor, and my abs or core in the front is gently working to hold those there, so I'm not starting to get into this position. From there, I'm pulling back. I want to think of opening the chest. A lot of times people are in this forward shoulder posture, and the rows just look like this. So I want the arms and shoulders to drop back, and I'm thinking about my elbow going towards my pocket, because if I think about it going backwards and up, I end up shrugging into my neck. And then finally, we're holding here because we want to get control in this position of what's called shoulder extension. Often as we hold here, people will fatigue. This shoulder will pivot forward and up to their neck, or they'll row too far and it'll pivot forward up to their neck. And so if you watch at this point on my shoulder, I want to pull back as far as I can. For me, it's about there. If I go further, it starts to pivot forward here. So I'm trying to find what's the limit of my shoulder and shoulder blade movement, and then can I hold and stabilize there. If you saw the video on a push-up hold, this is essentially the reverse, but now there's going to be more work in the back musculature to hold there, and you should be aware of the core. If I'm going with a dumbbell, it's the exact same movement. So you set up a little bit of stability. I just kick this leg back so it's out of the way. I want to have a nice flat low back. Don't want to be rounded, but don't want to be overly arched. So I'm nice and kind of flat there through the spine. And I'm going to pull up and hold there and back down. In this position, it's a little more easy to see. There's more of a diagonal movement of the arm and hand. I'm not going straight up, because if I go straight up, I end in this kind of weird position. So I'm drawing back only as far as I can, again, until this shoulder stops moving backwards. If I keep going further, it's going to start to pivot forwards. So I'm coming back, holding for anywhere for 10 to 30 seconds, and then coming back down. So those are the holds at the top of a row.